Thank you to all new subscribers to AIRAKSARANG. Thank you to all OG subscribers to AIRAKSARANG. Thank you to those who have migrated from the podcast over to YouTube. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate having your support over here. If you've ever left a comment, if you want to leave a comment, but you don't feel comfortable leaving one, shout out to you too. I know that feeling. You're looking at a video, you like what you see, maybe you even like what you hear, but you don't want to be the first person to leave that comment. It's a little intimidating at times. Thank you very much for even having the temptation to want to leave a comment on the damn video. Okay. So today, I am going to give you my first impressions of Shine on Me. If you don't know how this goes for me, I tell you what I like about it, what I kind of don't like about it, my conclusions about what I've seen, as well as a star rating, if I can remember, y'all, because I don't always remember that star rating. And speaking of ratings on our favorite site in the world, this drama has a rating of 8.6. And it has to be for little Mr. Long long song. Got to be just for him. You know what I'm saying? And I like Jenny Mai. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying. So, what do I like about this drama? I've only seen, what did I do, y'all? I think I watched the first and second episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think I watched the first 2 episodes. And what do I think? What are the pros? Mr. Long. That's it. No, I'm just playing. I like Jenny Mai. I like seeing her act. Her innocence really works in her favor. I think that she has good alchemy with the folks that she stars with or opposite, especially my favorite of Mr. Snowstorm of Love. I'm hesitating as much as I can to not compare this to that, but I can't help it because I just can't help it. They're not all going to be a Mr. Snowstorm of Love. I get that. But yeah, anyway, I love Mr. Long. And if you don't want to hear anything about this drama, then this is your chance right now because I don't want to ruin this for you. Now, this drama started back in 2025 and it carried over into 2026. I purposely did not watch this. I kind of wasn't interested, if I'm going to keep that a buck. Why? Because I just wasn't. Now, this is going to sound crazy, and I do understand and want my mind changed. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't see that much heat between these two in the clips that I've seen. I can be convinced though. I'm willing to hold out hope and fuck it. I'll blame it on me. It's my fault, y'all. It's my fault. So please don't be mad at me. I'm just saying I don't see it yet. So that's me. That's me. But as far as any other pros of this, my pros are more futuristic because I think that the way that this show has been set up, it is set up for my pros to truly increase. So now I have to go into the cons because in episodes 1 and 2, that's where my cons truly reside. So the first con is college. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Now we are on the mainland. Y'all know where I'm saying with the mainland. And we get it. Propaganda's gonna propaganda. And I say this because it's like when you've seen one college show or what have you, you've seen them all. So I do get it. I get it. But the dorm setup for C-drama, contemporary college, and it has to be contemporary if it's college, but that setup, everybody bunched up in this room with these bunk beds, baby, that, when I say that kills my essence or something, it's dead. I'm like, here we go. A bunch of grown ass women living on bunk beds, and then you got, okay, so I'll just keep going. So that's a con. Is it the bunk beds or is the college life? It's both. So the bunk beds, the college life, and then what's another con? I gotta kind of go into the premise now for me to orient this. So we've got our female lead, we can't start there. We have to start with Mr. Long. Ooh, I like that. Anyway, so he is a very accomplished surgeon. He performs a very risky tumor removal at the very beginning, and he does it successfully. The doctors are praising him outside of his awareness. So, he's just this good doctor, and not only does he have this skill to perform these risky operations, but his bedside men are all good. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come and hug Granny after the operation and tell her it's gonna be okay. He probably gonna send them some gifts or something. He's just what you would want in a doctor. Most of the time, they have either or, baby. Not everything. He's got everything. He's on his way to an event. Yeah, I don't know if it's his little cousin, but we gonna say his little cousin call him and be like, "Hey, you gonna come to this?" And he's like, "Mm." And then his cousin say, "Hey, Jenny Mai gonna be there." Now that's not her name, but it is. Okay. He says Jenny Mai's gonna be there. So Mr. Long, I like that, y'all, a lot. Okay, I'm sorry. So he's driving in his luxury vehicle. And y'all, I done seen too many motherfuckers. What is this, y'all? I done seen too many damn dramas. And I was trying to narrow it down to which locale does this the most, which is why I don't trust that Long. I got an hour more driving shit. But he did. Except he didn't. Because as soon as he hung that damn phone up or tapped his earbud, that something was going to happen, and it did. A fucking truck. And I'm just trying to figure this out. I understand that you don't want to bash your viewers over the head with too much shit that might dramatize them. It's like a truck of freaking, those little bouncy balls that you get out of a machine when you were younger. You just had to have that crap when you was, going into the store and you was begging for quarters so you could go get one of those. Like a truck has a box of those. It ain't taped up or nothing. The balls just fall out. These goofy ass, weird ass balls come out. And this is enough to fuck everybody up on the road, including the person driving the big ass, semi or whatever. As Mr. Long decides that these little bouncy balls are just too much to overcome. I'm sorry, guys, but it's cars do not slip on bouncy balls the way a human being might. So anyway, he gets in a terrible accident. The car flips over. And y'all, I'm so desensitized to dramas. Because was I supposed to be crying right here? Okay. He's on his top. The car is flipped over. Mr. Song has got scratches and shit all over his self. And he still look good. Who still look good with scratches, baby? He do. So he's laying there. He's unconscious. And I guess the reason why I'm not crying is because I know his ass alive. Because we still got fucking 11 episodes left. So, you have to be alive or something. This story methodology, baby. I used to coin when writers and producers don't just tell us just give us the story in sequence. When they don't do that, I used to call it a circular method. This method right here, baby, I had to make something else up and call it hopscotch, because you leave Mr. Long and you go to Jenny and her college life. It's hopscotch, baby, because you don't know where you are on the timeline. I didn't. Y'all, I'm not smart. Hey, I'm not smart enough for some of this shit, so I'm going to admit it. So we got Jenny. Jenny is in college, and she is doing the best that she can to get on with these people. She's in a dorm room. It's 7 or 8 of them. And I just hate the whole notion of, we got to be BFFs because we in this motherfucking dorm. Now, she has been living off campus, but she comes back to campus at times because I guess she feel guilty because she not broke. Yeah, Jenny's not broke. Everybody else is, though, and that's their problem. So look, she's living in the dorm, and y'all, we got a biatch, and she looks like one. Hey, she is doing this. She's doing such a good job at this role. I don't like her on nothing else. Okay? Yeah, that's the way that shit go. So Jenny is in this dorm room and she's having what seems like a normal, happy college time until as the episode wears on, we have exposure of who the biatch, like you could tell right away is the B. Okay, so the biatch, she is in love with her neighbor. The story that her other fellow, bunk bed mates keep saying is that, oh, she really likes the fine guy that you like, but they just neighbors. They don't really like each other. They just grew up with each other all their lives and they're like just grew up on the same street, but they broke. And so that's that. So Jenny's like, okay, okay. So like I told you, it's some hopscotching going on because Jenny's invited to this dinner. She don't really want to go because once she gets there or she doesn't want to stay, she realizes that Mr. I call him fine unless Mr. Long is in the scene. You know that character that's good looking, but not actually. It's just that Mr. Long has not shown up yet. Yeah. So he that kind of cute, that level of cute. And Jenny is spellbound by him. You could tell she, you know, is infatuated with him or what have you. So there's a lot of tension between like extremely uncomfortable watching, like the watchers are uncomfortable watching these two relate to each other because you could tell he likes her. And you could tell she likes him. You could tell some old gangster shit has happened, but in the first episode, they don't reveal that to us. So when they finish having they little lazy Susan dinner, and I just feel like I would starve to death at one of them lazy Susan dinners because while everybody's talking and giggling, I'm gonna be trying to catch the food. Like, can I catch some of this soup and shit before it? Does it stop and then you press a button and keep going? Okay, can you tell I've never been in a lazy Susan setting or something? Because yeah, I think I would be trying to just catch the food. Anyway, Jenny gets outside and she catches some smoke from him. Yeah, he's all like, she's trying to lighten the conversation. She's making small talk with him and he's like, okay, so you gonna stay in Wuji? And she's like, yeah, for work because everybody is super career minded right now. They're at crunch time clearly in university and everybody's got to get their shit together so they can get a job. Okay, so he's like, what you mean you gonna stay in Wuji? And baby, I call it Wujia because y'all know how I do it. I love Wujia, so I'm gonna call it Wujia just to be stupid. Okay, he's like, baby, what you mean you gonna stay in Wujia? And I'm like, baby, don't you know that Wujia is where it's at? I think I would go to Wujia to work too. So he's like, oh, why don't you go get your own job instead of being pathetic and relying on your family? Yes, girl, yes. He said it like that. Like, look at the last 5 minutes of episode 1. He said it worse than that. And I was like, this motherfucker, he is about to make me walk to China. Baby, I ain't walked nowhere yet in 2026, but I'm getting ready. China is the first place I'm finna walk. I'm like, baby, who in the fuck is you talking to like this? And Jenny just takes it, because she's infatuated with him. So it makes her fodder for fucked up abuse and shit. Like, how is abuse not fucked up? But I'm just saying, he says, why would you be so girl? I'm going to quit saying that because I am putting my shoes on right now on my way to China. So the other people come outside, including the neighbor who is the straight up, you can see it all over her. She don't say much yet because it's the quiet ones that you have to, you know what I'm saying? Because baby, you got opinions. Why you ain't talking? Why you don't talk? Never. So, we're going to move into episode 2. So, I'm like, where is Dr. Long, though? Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dr. Long still ain't nowhere to be found, except he kind of is. So they have this board meeting, and it's like all the executives of, it's a board meeting. And they talking about this one and that one and this merger and all these accounts and shit. And then at the end, Grandpa is like, What you think, What you think, Long? Tell me what you think. And I'm like, yeah, tell me what you think. Because we have not seen you the whole episode. Your face is better. I don't know if this is after the accident, before the accident. I don't know. So Mr. Long is like, it all boils down to the report you got is bullshit. None of that shit's gonna happen. What I'm saying is gonna happen. And Grandpa's smiling like, yeah, that's the deduction I made. And I'm like, Grandpa, your ass wasn't following that because I wasn't following that. So I'm not sure why you smiling at, your grandson. Like you understood anything he said because I didn't. Okay. And if I don't get it, don't nobody else get it. So they get out of the meeting. Mr. Long has made an enemy of everybody in there because he kind of like exposed how people just be lying to Grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Because Grandpa got this luscious long, he got this ponytail that be running around in the back. Y'all, hey, I would take too long to tell you where I got a ponytail that runs around in the back. All I'm saying is Grandpa walks out that meeting. He's the chairman. And he dips his head to the side, and that luscious ass ponytail is running around in the back. And I'm like, hey, what's up, Grandpa? So we're done with Mr. Long for a while. Before the end of episode 1, Jenny had decided that, you know what? I'm going to go to this job fair. My family rich, but I'm going to the job fair so I can see how the pedestrians live. She's like, you know what? I'm going to do this, but damn, I'm kind of nervous because assholes going to think that his words made me go. And it's like, Jenny, they did because you traumatized or whatever. Yes, you are having a trauma response to his ass. So you trying to go prove some shit you don't have to prove to him because the one she's infatuated with and the neighbor who have nothing to say, they broke, baby, broke. I'm talking about like, you know what I'm saying? Broke. So she's going and, she has decided that she's going to put her little applications in wherever she's going to put them in and she's going to do this, she's going to do that. At this company, which happens to be the company that Mr. Long works at, which is baby Shenyun, she wants to get at this company. So she puts her name in. All of them do because it's like the Apple of China, baby. Everybody went and applied to Apple. And Jenny's like, okay, if I get a call back from here, then, this is great because I'll prove to myself, boom, bam, and bop. She gets the call back. And her friends are like, hey, have you heard anything? And she's at lunch like, yeah, I heard back from Apple, but, I'm still trying to decide because I applied to some other places, like Samsung and Motorola or something. So I need to figure out where the fuck I'm going. And one of the friends says, come on, throw your tray away with me. And she's like, hey, you shouldn't have said that. And Jenny's like, why? And she's like, because the quiet one, that bitch broke. And when you said that was insensitive. So Jenny is feeling really bad because she's not AIRAKSARANG. See, this is why I will get banned out of the country. I'll get put off the shores. Okay? Because, baby, how I'm going to feel bad for something I didn't know? Secondly, girl, hey, that's what I'm saying. My cons list is long, ain't it? So anyway, Jenny can't win for losing. She's like, damn. So she goes to this interview, but she's more compelled to go to the interview because part of her feels like if I don't kind of go and take this seriously, they're going to feel like I'm just this rich, spoiled girl and all of that. Now, this is what makes me want to cuss everybody out right now. And it's that the guy she's infatuated with, the broke one, he actually took her application inside her resume and gave it to Shin Young, somebody that he knew, one of his partners up there. And he was like, hey, call her. And she was like, damn, you must like her. And he was like, nah, I don't like her. It was just we ran out of time. So I'm helping her. And she was like, yeah, whatever. And that lady kind of irritated me because it's like, baby, you a little bit too nosy. Just take the damn resume. Can you take that resume and give it to your people? So she did. And this is how Jenny Mai ultimately got called back. And the quiet neighbor, the biatch, she found out about that and was like, damn. And she brought it to him. And she was like, can you hook me up? And he was looking at her like, bitch, no, because I don't like you like that. I like her. But he plays it so weird. Like he hates Jenny. So anyway, move on to episode 2. And Jenny has had her interview. And, she's had an opportunity to talk to these people as well as interview with other people. Jenny never really wanted to go to Xinjiang. She went to the whole damn interview and job fair because of him and how he's annoying. Okay. So everybody's like, hey, Jenny, come to the pavilion right here before the sun sets. Okay. Because it's cold out here and we really need to make you cold when the sun goes down. So she goes. And soon as she get there, the vibes and the auras, baby, they are off. She looking around like, what the fuck is wrong with everybody in here? And they was like, so the other day, the biatch, she got a call from Xinjiang, Apple, and you was the only one there asleep. They said that somebody from the company said that they talked to you, gave you the message, and you forgot to give it to her, or you just purposely didn't give it to her. And the biatch is nothing but talk now. She ain't got nothing but talk. She is accusing. She's like, yeah, you know what you did. And y'all, you talk about wanting to slap the saliva out of somebody's mouth. Ugh. I can't stand her with her black ponytail and her cinnamon roots. They get on my nerves. So anyway. So Jenny's like, no, I did not. I did not do that. And she's like, well, I don't give a fuck how many times you keep on rebutting what I'm saying. I'm telling you, I did not do that. And now that it's 6 against 1, plus the fine one, the guy she like, I don't give a fuck how many people y'all bring out here. I did not do that. Somebody is miscommunicating something. You tripping with no luggage. And even if all that happened, which it didn't, your ass has already got an interview. Like, how is it my fault that they called you and you wasn't there to answer the phone? Because the problem was that she lost her cell phone. So they were like, that's cool that you lost your cell phone. Because she was like, I put the dorm number and my email address on here so that I can make sure I don't miss the call, which makes no sense because who doesn't have their cell phone with them? But anyway, she's like, yeah, you did it. All her other roommates are looking like, ooh, you know who we thought you were. They all mum and stuff. And Jenny runs off in tears. It is ridiculous. Nobody stood up for her. The only one that could stand up for her was not there. She was gone doing something. So Jenny's running, and as she's running, we're finally getting another sequence. This is why I call it hopscotch, baby, because this is, you could tell earlier in the timeline. So the story about Jenny and the one she really likes is she found out that him and the biatch were neighbors. And I almost said lane because the lane that homegirl lives on between the lines or whatever, I think that's Love Between Lines. That's cute, but nothing's cute about the lane that the two broke ones live on. This is not a lane. It's more like an alley. So anyway, she is receiving information from somebody that they're neighbors and all that. So she's like, okay. And she's like, but they're not together. She's like, okay. So she feels like, let me go and straighten this out. Not really straighten it out, but I got it from a third party, but now I need to hear it from the horse's mouth because I just don't want any wires to cross. So she goes to the biatch, and remember, they in the same dorm room, and the biatch is sitting there, and she's like, hey, biatch, and the biatch, like I told you, she's quiet, but she's devious. So she's like, you want to ask me about my fine neighbor? And she's like, we're not together. It's all good. And Jenny is super ecstatic because she likes him. So Jenny runs him down and she finds him and she's like, hey, I like you. And he's standing there looking at her like, and he turns her down. He's like, no, thank you. And I'm like, Jenny girl, ooh, I can't walk to China right now because this is supposedly a memory. So anyway, she's like, that's fine. You don't have to like me. I'm going to keep on trying until you like me. So get ready. And she hops off and bops off and she's happy and he's looking at her like, and it's just one of these scenarios. I mean, I don't have any evidence of this, but you could tell he likes her. He does preferential things for her. He always looking at her with this forlornness in his eyes, but he treats her like dog shit. And it's like, sir, You're mad because she got money? You're mad. That's why you treat her like this out in the open. But if we keeping this a buck, you really are in love with her. So it's weird. So she ends up having her roommate that wasn't at the pavilion exposing event. She wasn't there, so she came back and she ends up rallying all the big mouths in school because she knows that if she gets these 12 people together, takes them to the, catch your food, lazy Susan dinner, that whatever she's about to say, she don't have to repeat it 2 or 3,000 times because they gonna go run it to everybody that they can. And she's like, look, what you all heard about my friend, because by now Jenny is just being gossiped about, she's being talked about, she's being dogged. She already was getting dogged about trying to get up on the biatch's boyfriend, because once she realized that he was like, I don't like you, then one of the friends come back all late and say, why did you confess to him? Like, they not together, but she likes him and he likes her, so you should have known to not say anything anyway. And I'm like, okay. So she's at this lazy Susan dinner and she's like, look, I am going to set the record straight about what happened. Yes, Jenny was at the dorm that morning, or that afternoon when that call happened, but it was me that answered the phone, not her. She was taking a nap. I went and did this at the train station, realized I ain't have what I needed, and came back. The phone rang. I answered it. And, they said what they said. She did not fail to tell her about the interview. It's that the interviewer said they were going to call her back. And then they never called her back. Jenny shows up at this lunch and Jenny's like, she's right. And I have proof. She's like, I called these people and at first they tried to lie to kick it, but I had to go ahead and tell them they playing too much. So they ended up confessing. And she pulls out this memory, card or whatever. And she's like, I recorded the whole thing so y'all can go run that one. And then, she's just setting the record straight. Her friend was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And she's like, no, thank you. Because you're the only person who stood up for me. Everybody else was ready to just like throw me away. And that wasn't cool. She was like, you know what? It's all good. And then, the other friends kind of slinked up and was like, ooh, we were janky. And yes, you were. So this is kind of where we are in this. The betrayal that Jenny has experienced is so deep with these roommates that it made her move back to where she was. And it's like with an uncle and his wife and her cousin. I don't know what's going on with her parents. I hope we don't see them because y'all know what I think about parents and dramas. They always drag it down. But I can't imagine her not having some situation with that. But did you hear me say anything about Mr. Long? Yeah, because he was not in it. And I don't understand what this hopscotching is all about. But because I've seen enough clips, as have you, and maybe you've seen this already. Maybe you're responsible for contributing to this 8.6 rating on this drama. And I'm cool with all that. I'm great with having my mind changed and just having everything be what it needs to be. But at this point, I can say with all confidence that I need more Mr. Long stat.